G'day punters, coming to you from Woodley Station, southern Atherton tablelands. This video is all about our preparation for our trip around Australia, the Big Lap as it's commonly known. You can see that we've already started. This is a pretty long video by my standards, I suppose. Lots of little things in there about what we've done to prepare for it, tools, accessories, minor maintenance stuff. You might find something in there interesting, you might not either. You might find lots of things in there interesting. Anyhow, plough through it, see what you see. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. Don't like it, let me know. What recovery gear am I taking with me? Got a spade mounted up inside the canopy, high lift jack. On the other side you might see some Max Trex mounted up there as well. I've got the ARB kit in here, snatch strap, tree hugger, an extension, some soft shackles, some bows, bag to go over the tow rope, gloves, manual winch controller, and that's about it. That's the recovery equipment, basic recovery equipment. I've got some, well, I've got the spare tyre. I'm only taking one tyre. This is a tyre I punctured up in the cope. You still see the plug there. And I've got the puncture repair kit in the other side with all my air stuff as well. So recovery kit, that's about all I'm taking. That's not to mention tools and stuff, and I'll go through that in a little bit more detail. In the back drawer I've got some gaff water hoses, fuel hoses, some stuff to do with my water pump, some vacuum hoses, a bucket. You never know when you're going to need a siphon, a couple of life jackets just in case. Moving on to consumables that I'm taking on this trip. I've got a oil filter, air filter, fuel filter, sump washer plug, genuine air filter, not a Ryco one. A fuel manager pre-filter. Taking a gas recharge for my little gas light or gas burner, and I've got a soldering tip for that as well. Nuts, bolts, various sizes, hose clamps, my old brake lines just in case I need those, puncture repair kits because we're taking push bikes with us, various air fittings because I've got a bunch of air fittings, spare bearings for the camper trailer. Yeah, sharpened up the machete. I will be taking my throwing it in a little bucket. I'll show you more about this later. It's a rod bag that my missus made up. Most of the consumables fit in the two milk crates. The two milk crates will fit in the same little cubby hole where the Travel Buddy oven is. Some disposable gas cartridges, brake fluid, oil filter removing tool, Sikaflex 291, engine degreaser. That's bleach, enough to treat the water tank in the camper trailer if we need it. Some chemicals for the portaloo if we ever need that. My grease gun, which is already charged up with graphite grease, a little bit of sandpaper, spare treg hitch, a little bit of extra wire, a little bit of rope, tyre weld in case I need a really quick tyre fix. I've got some bearing grease for the camper trailer, some high pressure grease for the movable parts like the treg hitch, ball joints like steering knuckles and things like that. I've got some aluminium weld stuff, which is pretty good for fixing up little repairs if I need it. Some more high pressure grease, battery terminal goop, WD-40, some brake free, some solid lubricant, solder, basic multimeter, some marine sealant, a little funnel, some split tube, a little pouring funnel I need, some spare air hose. I've got pop riveter rivets, and I've got a crimping set with a whole bunch of crimps in there. I need these rivets for parts on the camper. I'm taking some heat beads with me, some heat bead lights, and some smoking stuff. Just about all that stuff will fit inside those milk crates. Also in this milk crate I've got just some ancillary lighting stuff, a little measuring cup with some rag in it, some little blocks of wood, a spare bottle jack, a little bit of rope. And that's the two milk crates filled up with all that gear that I've just been through. Bit of fishing gear, 4 rods. I come back to that fishing rod bag that Mrs. made up before. gaff, net, feeder stress sheet, or boat motor, fuel tank. Taking 2 crab pots with me. Not sure about those sinkers yet. Taking some opera pots with me, 3 of them. There's the rock tamers there in the hitch. Just got a small anchor and rope up there, which when I took up the Cape, spare bit of rope. The bridle for the Almac boat loader. Yes, you probably would have seen the Almac hitch at the back there as well. Taking a small 5 litre jerry, that's for the generator. And I've got some CT18 truck wash there, which is a wash without any wax compound in it. Good for washing the truck with the wrap on it. Well, that's it all wrapped up. Call that my rod blanket, I suppose. Fortunately, the missus has just made it about 3 inches too short, but it's all fit inside the rod bag. I'll just wrap that up with a little bit of rag. Now, what I didn't mention is I'll be taking some sheet with me as well. Just some blue sheet. I can tear that up and use that as gaff rag if I need it on the side of the road. Tools. I've got a range of tools I'm taking with me. Some might say probably too much, but I'll be on the road for a while, and some might also say that I've probably got more tools than I need for the type of vehicle I've got or camper. True. But if somebody needs help or assistance on the side of the road, and it's not a Land Cruiser or an Ultimate camper, then there's a chance I might have something to help them with. So actually filing, I've got a steel brush, Stilsons, various types of pliers, circuit pliers, Stanley braid, shifters, files, Phillips heads, straight heads, breaker bar, 1/2 inch ratchet and various attachments, hammer, chisel, 2 types of chisels there, scribe, ruler, flat edge screwdrivers, lots of tape, pin punches, needle files, AF and metric Allen keys, a box of more crimps, box of assorted bolts, some easy outs, small crimps, heat shrink. I've got metric and AF socket, not the complete set. The metric is to cover off what I need, and the AF is just in case. Same, you can see I've got a small selection of AF ring open enders, and I've got more metric and more wire and a little bit of rope. I will have more zippy ties as well. They're already in the car, so you can never have too many of those, eh? Hopefully all this is going to fit in this little red toolbox. I've pensioned off that ARB recovery bag that I had. It's got too many holes in it now. Well, all the tools fitted in there. That closes up okay. I didn't get all my ancillary stuff, so I'll probably get a little soft bag to put those in. Little bag of bottles that my missus got from me from the Chemist Warehouse, I think it is. Right hand one's empty. Blue one has window additive. Purple one has air filter cleaning solution, and the left hand one with the pink has got the air filter oil on it. Well, a miserable day here at home, but this is just more preparation for our lap. What I've got in front of me is a slab of aluminium which has been machined. I'll talk about that very shortly. It's been anodised as well. A mate up in Townsville who owns a business, Northern Air Services I think it is, he made it for me. I'll put his details in the description of the video. This replaces a chain of flexible airline and little neato fittings. And I was having a persistent little air leak which was draining my air tank, which is a pain in the backside, so he's machined this out. I've got an outlet. This is the ARB air hose outlet, the new model. That comes out the bottom of this manifold. I'll have the air in from my compressor, the compressor cut-off switch, 2 lines for airbags and 1 line back out to the air tank. I've got this port blocked off because I don't need it, and the end port is blocked off because I don't need it as well. I fabbed up this bracket. I've just got to mount that up into the back of the toolbox. I'll show you that shortly. It's going to mount up to where the solenoid for the air horns is mounted. The screws come through the toolbox, so I'll use those 2 screws, and I might punch a couple of little rivets in as well just to keep it a bit more firmer mounting. A bit of slastic, of course, to keep the water out. I've pulled my little gauge display off just so I can get better access in here. I'll have to remount that shortly. These are the two screws that I'm going to mount up that manifold to, or bolts. So I'll just undo those. They've got nylock nuts and some washers there. I'll have to pull the washers off, put some more slastic in, mount the bracket up, put the washers and the nylocks on, probably with a little bit of Loctite as well. You can see the two hoses there for the airbags, outlet for the compressor. I've put a Nito fitting on that. Inlet for the air tank, put a Nito on that. Put a one-way check valve on the inlet side. Hopefully that'll stop air bleeding back out of the tank if there's a leak between the tank and the compressor. I've taken the check valve out from the outlet side of the air compressor. I decided I didn't need that. So next job is to get that manifold mounted up and start plugging in the air cables and put in the wiring for the compressor. I've decided not to put pop rivets in the side, it's fairly firm. And I was really worried about pushing the air hose into here and pulling it out. But it's pretty firm. On the back of this bracket I've run slastic all around the edges as well, as well as around those bolt holes on the toolbox side and also on this side where the washers are as well, just to try and stop any potential water coming in. That's it, finished. The airbox manifold, nicely fitted in. Got the wiring, got the inlet pipe going up to the compressor, airbags, air tank, and pump up the tyres. And if you watch some of my other videos, you'll know I've got another air outlet here for tyres as well, and another outlet up here which goes to my air horns. Rightio, what electronics am I going to take with me on this trip? DJI Mavic Pro Platinum, Rode microphones, 3 batteries for the drone, tablet, spare GoPro, waterproof GoPro, 2 handles, a little mount for the GoPro, MacBook Pro, a mount for mobile phone, mount for the tablet, Garmin GPS. I put some details in the description of the video about that. That gives us like a personal EPIRB thing with the capability to send and receive GPS and track waypoints and stuff. A couple of little handheld UHF radios, spare micro discs, wiring and cables and stuff. Big tripod, little tripod, some spare parts for the GoPro. Take the hard drive, say some cables and stuff. That covers just about everything that I'll be taking electronics wise with me. A couple of little bags, one for my MacBook Pro and the tablet. We'll be taking the little Sony A3 camera with us. It's got 2 lenses, just the prime 24 and a 28 to 70 zoom. Little bag for the drone. Big lap prep. Just doing some work on the cell phone, just moving the internal aerial and changing the power supply. Just came across this. It's a driver's side seatbelt. You can see that it's a little bit loose. Something to keep an eye on. So I'll tighten up the driver's side and I'll tighten up the passenger side. Caveat to this, I'm not advocating this is the right thing to do. This is the passenger's passenger's front seatbelt. I find it a little bit annoying that the seatbelt buckles just flop straight down and don't sit up where they are. It's because these are punched in with a rivet and they just wear out a little bit. So I'm not advocating what I'm doing. Socket, that'll sit on that side. I'll stick it up to there, stick it on top of there and give it a bash with a hammer. We'll see how it goes. I'll give you an example of what it does. Alright, we'll try that again after give it a bash, eh? Giving it one bash, turn it over, not dropping down, turn it over, not dropping down. I'm pretty happy with that. Even like when I grab it, it still moves. It's nice and firm now, so I'm happy with that. Just some more prep on the Almac boat loader, actually the roof rack that goes with it. I'm going to stick some stainless eye bolts, one each side, and up here as well. I've just started drilled pre-hole there. Serve twofold purpose. When this is mounted to the Concept Canopies roof rack, I can then tie the boat to these bow or the eye bolts either side, front and rear. And the second purpose is, you'll see I've got it hanging from the roof here in the shed. So what I'm going to do is mount some hardware from the eye bolts up to the roof, and you'll see these snap lock fittings, and I'm going to use those, but I'm going to put some eye bolts in the roof as well, so they're fixed points, and I just clip on and clip off whenever I mount and unmount the boat. Now the hardware I'm using is, as I say, some eye bolts, stainless nylock nuts, some flat washers, and I'm still going to put some Loctite 242 on the threads as well. Oh, there's 4 eye bolts fitted up. One there, third, and the final one there. So they're going to be tie down points. Run a rope across, or a tie down strap across the top of the boat there, and here as well when I'm travelling, and also give me points to secure up to the roof. I'm going to get some eye bolts in at the top there as well. Keep the boat out of the way. Didn't video this bit, but I'll tell you what I did. This is just a little camp tub we got. These screws, 2 there and 1 over there, pulled out of the plastic top, so it was just about kaput. So what I've done is I've just run some construction adhesive under there. Each fixing point I've done construction adhesive, and when I had these legs up, both sides, I run construction adhesive underneath there as well. You can see a little bit sticking out, just there, maybe just a little bit over there as well. So that's all glued down now. The boss has made a tablecloth for this too. She's well, she had one previously, and I burnt a few holes in it and stuff, so she's made a replacement. I'll just show you what she's done. So she went to Spotlight and got some of this vinyl stuff, and she's sewed it up. Not that I know anything about sewing, but anyhow, you can see a little bit of sewing on the inside there, and it's a nice tight fit on the table. That's where we stow the tablecloth, and just fold it up. Done. Done if I can pick it up. And then we stick it in our canvas bag. I'll show you where that is shortly. It's the canvas bag. Zip both sides. Handle comes through. Carry on. Stays up in the canopy. And I'll stick my pizza stone on top of there. Cutting board. And our bush tent. Our bush shower goes up there, and we just hold it in place with a Oki strap. It's all secured now, so it's not going to bounce around and move too much when we're travelling over rough stuff. Snorkel socks. Any of you who watched me or the videos I did for the Cape York Wars have seen me put a snorkel sock on and replace it about halfway through the trip. I've given these a wash. Filter cleaner, product of Unifilter. Gave them a good wash, and I've hung them out and I let them dry. And then I've got the filter treatment, which is just an oil. I stuck some in the Ziploc bag, and then I worked some oil into it. Then I poured some more oil onto it, worked it into more, and just did up the Ziploc bag, pressing out the air. Did the same with both filters. I'm going to put both those filters inside another bag just to give it extra protection. Now I'm aware of another YouTube channel where a bloke, ex-Air Force mechanic or fitter, I don't know if he was a mechanic, but anyhow, uses Unifilters as well, and he doesn't bother to oil them. Now these foam filters, if you leave them out in the sun for a while, they'll perish, they'll break down. Now if they're on your snorkel and the snorkel's sucking because the engine's running, the broke down particles are going to end up in one place inside your air filter. So, you know, I wouldn't recommend that you don't run them without oil. Or if you need to run them without oil, then make sure they're in bloody good condition. Ever since I had these rear speakers installed quite a few years ago, the black grill keeps on popping off, and I've used a glue gun to glue them in. The other side, I recently used Sikaflex. So I'm going to do that again with this side, so it doesn't look so awkward. Well, I've managed to get that back in now. That's sitting well. So this is what I use. 291, it's a marine one. Black Sikaflex. It sets hard. And I'll just run a couple of little beads around the outside. And hopefully it'll set hard, and they'll last a little bit longer than the glue gun, hopefully. Thought I'd just clean the snorkel head. You can see there's a bit of build up of crap on here. But on top of it, more alarmingly, see some dirt and crap up there. See if I can get it. I'll just stick it in the mirror. See, there's quite a bit of dirt there, so vacuum. Now I've got a wet rag and just try and clean that up. Same with the snorkel head. Bit of dirt and crap in there as well. Just want to give that a good wash. Snorkel's back on. I gave that a wash in the Unifilter orange citrus detergent stuff. Put it in a bucket, used the banister brush, gave it a good clean. And I used the same detergent on the outside of the snorkel and as far as I could reach on the inside there. I'll give it a bit of a hose out when I get to the front of the property, and it should run the raw water through snorkel to the bottom of the airbox, out the bottom of the drain. I have a issue with this USB point. It's one of the PVS ones. That's just one of their plugs that they sell. It has a female plug on the end of this USB, and the male lead comes from the head unit. This USB side works. I'll just show you. You'll see on the back, on the top of that USB, a light will come on. There we go. Turn it back off. I'm going to stick it the USB into the other plug now. Turn it back on. No power. So I suspected the lead's probably come undone. As I suspected, this USB lead has just come undone. You can see it there. Just plug it back in and check it before I stick the head unit back in. Alright, let's turn on the power and see what happens. Light on. Fixed. Next, water pump. See that's light on. I can hear a relay too. So just got to try and remember which relay it is. It's the one I'm touching there, I think. That one there. So at the moment I don't have, the water pump's not powering up. You can see that the relay is clicking across. I'll probably have to take the relay off. There's got to be a fuse in there somewhere. I chased the fuse, that might be it there. Right, I just checked the fuse block there. I've got power both sides and it's switching okay. So I've got power between, well, the power source and the outlet of the relay. I don't want to chase all the wires down the chassis, so I checked down here where the water pump is, just under here. And there was actually a bad earth, so I've cleaned up the earth terminal and refitted it, and it's working again now. Got a new package today from Steady. I'm going to replace the light bulbs in the Parkers from halogen to LEDs. You see them in this little packet. I'll have a look shortly. So these are the bulbs that go in. The original halogens have 5 watts in it. Tools for the job today, Phillips head screwdriver. I'll do a before and after. That's the bulb I'm going to replace. If you watched my video on replacing these shrouds, you'll know that there's 2 Phillips head screwdrivers on the inside of there to remove the blinker, so I'm not going to bore you with that. at all. Existing bulb on the right hand side and the new bulbs on the left hand side, so I'll just go ahead and insert. That's the bulb inserted. I was a bit worried that it might hit the lens, but I've just tried throwing the lens on just to make sure it clears. It comes almightily close, but it does fit in. Okay, I'm going to reinsert that and we'll have a look and see how bright it is. And through the magic of editing, I've got them both installed now. You can see the left hand side one, or the right hand side one there. See a little spot there, that's where the bulb end is. I suppose that's not going to make too much difference overall. And left hand side. And with the DSL lights on, low beam, you'll see there's no DSL there. Low beam with DSL. Low beam Parkers, DSL and fog light. High beam Parkers, DSL and fog light. All up, I would say no more than 10 minutes really. One Phillips head screwdriver, that's all that's needed. That's a toolbox in there. I've got my little spit roast in the bottom there as well. A couple of spare wiper blades, a machete, windscreen wiper cleaner, bag full of electrical stuff for the Almac, some tie down straps, gaff, spare towel, some rope. I've got some Yakima or Yakima, depends how you pronounce it, bike holders. Got the boat motor in now. I've got a couple of little eye bolts, one there, one up here, another one further down there, and I've tied the boat motor up to that. Just stuck some foam in between the boat motor and the wall just to protect it a little bit. Put up our snorkeling gear in the center. Been through the rear tray already, just stuck the V stress flag in there. Pizza peel with a little solar panel in there. I don't know if you can see it, that's what I'm touching there. Just a real small one. That fits on top of milk crates, so I can use it as a little ladder. Little Weber Q, little hot water system I've been through on previous videos. The 1 kVA generator. I think it's about a 40 litre Engel, which we'll use as a freezer. 60 litre Engel, I've seen that plenty of times in other videos. In this drawer I've got some camera equipment, a little portable pot, gas stove, little gas cartridge, a little bit of insect repellent sunscreen, my little gas burner, some small binoculars as well. Carry some hand cleaner, I have to push that down, lock it in, and some sanitizer and a tape measure. I've put this PVC pipe up here, just put some rivets in through them, 3 rivets each in the Velcro, just to tie it up. And I've got maps in there, so that should be fine. I've put on the rock tamers and the Trek hitch. I'm super dosing, charging my second battery charger. Second battery to lead crystal, it's pretty old, so just want to make sure I get a full charge in it. I don't have too many concerns about it other than its age. I just started putting the RAM mounts in, the one for a mobile, tablet, GoPro. I had ARB do a service on all the kit that they put on it on Friday, and they greased up the shackles and the springs and stuff, and just came back to me with a little minor thing about the winch that I'm not too concerned about. Otherwise, there's nothing else I need to do to the vehicle. We are going to do a snappy run in 3 days down to Sunshine Coast, so it's going to be about a 650 kilometre round trip. Tuesday, and we head off Wednesday, so hopefully nothing goes wrong there. The boss is loading up the Ultimate at the moment. I've been doing the bed headlights in there. Well, there's nothing else I need to do to the Ultimate other than just wire in the bed headlights and put some split tube on them, on the wiring that is. Once we finish with the Ultimate, I can put the Almac boat loader on. Once I've got the Almac boat loader on, then I can stick the crab pots in my little Opera House pots and the fuel can and the Almac H. Break it up there. I've got to sort out this other stuff. I'm getting a couple of bags, drawer dividers they call them, from Jamie's Touring Solutions. I've already got a couple of sets from him, just to put this loose stuff in. This is the little soft bag that we got before we left. It's got all the electrical stuff in there, a little bit of rope, zippy ties, tape and stuff. And I'll just stow it up the top here next to that camp table, and a bottle of red wine, of course. Got to sort out some fishing reels and some fishing tackle and stuff. Put the ground mat back in its bag and put that in the front of the camper. Put the boss's seat up on the roof rack of the Almac boat loader, and probably in a couple of days put the fridge on inside the camper here, and I reckon Tuesday night, once we come back from the sunny coast, I'll probably put the angles on so they'll be nice and chilled down for the food. Be put in on Wednesday morning. We're just in the southern part of the Atherton Table Hands, Woodley Station. This is our last night here, and we're going to head back down to the beach for 3 nights, give everything a good shake out, make sure everything's okay, do a couple of tours down there as well, and then we start heading west again. We got a big stop at Undara, 5 nights for Anzac Day and stuff like that. So this will be the end of this video, and we'll see you on the road. Cheers.